Hi, I'm Darn and these are the best Pokemon to use against Entei. This lovable dog is a fire-type Pokemon, so he doesn't like water, rocks being thrown at him, or pieces of the earth being thrown at him. I can relate to all those things. The design on Entei's back is meant to represent a volcanic eruption with all the smoke coming out, and the handlebar's mustache is just for style. Anyway, the best Pokemon to use against Entei is Kingler, the big watery crab Pokemon using Bubble and Water Pulse. Kingler is actually a very strong Pokemon with a very high attack. In second place is the first ever Pokemon to go inside a Pokemon game, Rhydon. And you want him to be using Mud Slap and either Earthquake or Stone Edge. The reason that all the statues in the old Pokemon games were of Rhydon was because it was the first Pokemon to ever go inside the games. Dropping some knowledge. In third place is the big Tyrant of Tar, Tyranitar, using Bite and Stone Edge. I've honestly no idea what Tyranitar is supposed to be. In fourth place on the list is the world's strongest Pokemon, Mewtwo. Mewtwo was so strong that Niantic actually had to reduce his stats, and he's still the strongest by quite a bit. Either way, you want to be using his psychic attacks in this battle. In fifth place we have the delightful Golem, using any of his rock or ground attacks. You gotta love the design of Golem. Geodude and Graveler are both boulders with arms, and Golem for some reason looks like a brown lizard trapped inside a boulder. What? Number 6 is Starmie, because that's the sound that it makes in the cartoons. Using Water Gun and Hydro Pump. Starmie is actually one of the best water type Pokemon, believe it or not, and it is incredibly underused. Next we have the tentacle water slug thing, Amistar, using Water Gun and then any of its water or rock attacks. I've honestly no idea what Amistar is supposed to be. He kinda looks like a starfish that carries his house around with him and then puts spikes on it to keep intruders away. And number 8 is Vaporeon, using any of its water type attacks. The evolutions are ridiculously powerful Pokemon to have. In 9th place we have the Johto starter, Feraligatr. His name was so long that they had to take out a letter to make it fit on the screen in the old games. That's why Gator is spelled G-A-T-R. Anyway, you want this feral alligator using Water Gun and Hydro Pump. Number 10 is Kabutops, using Mudshot and any water or rock charged attacks. When I was a kid, I used to think that Kabutops was like an ancient Scyther because they got the scythes for hands. True story, Kabuto is based on a real life creature that is alive today. It looks so weird. Number 11 is Octillery, the Octillery Octopus using Water Gun and Water Pulse. Not much to say here, he's an octopus that shoots water instead of ink. Next we have the King Dragon of the Sea, Kingdra, using Water Gun and Hydro Pump. I really used to hate this Pokemon back in Silver, Gold and Crystal because it was the last Pokemon of the last gym leader and I always found it a nightmare trying to take this thing out. Next on the list is Alakazam, using all his psychic attacks. There was a Japanese magician that tried to sue Pokemon for using Abracadabra and Alakazam because he claimed that they were based off his likeness. I'm not sure whether or not he won the lawsuit, but I'm pretty sure he lost, because that's crazy. In 14th place is the Blue Duck, Golduck, using Water Gun and Hydro Pump. I love that Golduck is blue and Psyduck is gold. I bet the artist that did it was just like... Next is the powerful Gyarados, using Hydro Pump along with Dragon Tail or Bite. In 16th place we have the Dragon Knight Pokemon, Dragonite. This Pokemon started off being one of the most powerful creatures in the series, but somehow over the course of time he slowly turned into Charizard's camp cousin. I don't know why that happened. But you want him using Dragon Tail and either Outrage or Hurricane. In 17th is Espeon, using any of its psychic attacks. I think Espeon's supposed to be based on a cat, whereas all the other evolutions are meant to be based on dogs. In number 18 we have the ghastly and haunting Gengar. See what I did there? You want Gengar to be using ghost type moves, so Hex and Shadow Ball for this battle. In 19th place is the big watery fighting tadpole, Poliwrath, using Bubble and Hydro Pump. The swirls on the Poliwag family are meant to represent the intestines because there are types of tadpoles where you can see their intestines through their body when you look at them. Cheery. And last but not least, it is kind of least, is Sandslash. And you want this bad boy to be using Mudshot and either Bulldoze or Earthquake because they're ground types. Sandslash used to be one of my favorite Pokemon because he looks really, really cool. Look at that. So yes, that is the list of best Pokemon to use against Entei. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit like, subscribe, all that usual jibber jabber, and then you can go and make yourself a cup of Mr. T. It was a horrible joke. If you found the video useful, be sure to share it with your local raid groups so that everybody can use good Pokemon in the battles and we can end the invasion of Blissies, because thankfully their numbers are going down. So yes, that is all she wrote, and I'll see you in the next one.